Well, welcome everyone. I'm Jason Dunning, and what I'd like to do is sort of recreate the experience of what it's like when I first get here in the morning. Of course, it's light out right now. Normally I get to WCBI around 4 o'clock in the morning, and we go on the air at 5. So let's sort of go ahead and recreate that experience for you of what I do when I'm getting ready to do the weather for our sunrise show. So come on in, WCBI Studios. Alright, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty tired, still trying to wake up, and now it's time to go through the newsroom and to the weather office. So let's follow me here. We'll walk through the WCBI newsroom. You can see our reporters at their desk here. Bill? Good morning. Always say good morning to Bill every single day, or else it's not going to be a good day, you can bet. And this is the weather office. Come on in. Lots of different computers and technology. This is our weather computer that we use on the air. This is the graphics that you actually see when you're watching TV. This is a Viper radar. And some other computers over here as well. This is our fast track radar, just another option that we have to use on the air. It does a few other things that the Viper radar doesn't necessarily do. And so the first thing that I do when I get in here is I sit down and I start looking at weather information to see what the weather is going to be like for the day. And usually the first thing that I look at is what's called the water vapor imagery. It gives me a good idea of the overall weather pattern. And then what I'll do is pull up what's called the rundown. This is actually what the show, our 2-hour morning show, looks like on paper. And I try to figure out, okay, where's my weather going to be in the show so that way I can get ready. And then the next step is looking at different forecast models to figure out what the weather is actually going to do. How cold is it going to be? How hot is it going to rain? And so these are some pretty big questions that I have to answer before I go on the air. So what I'm going to do right now is begin forecasting. Okay, so I've finished putting my forecast together, and now I'm working on building the graphics for the show, what you'll actually see on TV. And this is our 7-day forecast, so I put the numbers in for the temperatures, also decided on what rain chances to go with, what the sky cover is going to be like. We're going to have clouds or sun. So now it's about 4:45, so we have 15 minutes before we go on the air. Now what I've got to do is go upstairs and record radio hits for our radio forecast. So I'll show you what that's like. Come on. All right, we got about 13 minutes until showtime. Now it's time to go into the radio booth to record some weather, but before I show you that, let's walk down the hall a little bit farther. This is a pretty neat thing. We have a balcony that overlooks the newsroom, so a lot of times in the morning I sort of just like to look over here and see what's going on down there. People hard at work. Even though they don't look like it, they're working. All right. So let's go into the radio room. Hopefully this won't take too long because I don't have much time.
Yeah, let me show you something here in the book.
Well, the controls are all set here. Now it's time to record my radio weather, so here I go. For today, we expect mostly cloudy skies. We'll see a high around 73 degrees and a chance of rain mainly in the morning and then becoming drier as we get into the afternoon. By tonight, partly cloudy with a low near 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Dunning with your WCBI Weather Center forecast. And that's it. There we go. We can stop it, and then I have to send the radio weather to all the different radio stations around Columbus, and we're all done. Now we have just a few more minutes before we go to airtime, so it's time to head back down to the studio to get ready. All right, well, the weather graphics are ready to go, and now we got about 5 minutes until showtime, so let's start heading into the studio. The studio is actually on the other side of the wall right here, but we have a little secret passage that I like to take that the news anchors, Bill and Christian, don't really know about. This is the actual set right here. We're walking behind it. You'll see when we come out here in just a second. And this is it. This is the WCBI studios with the main set over here. This is where the anchors sit and deliver the news. And you see the television cameras and the lights up above hanging from the rafters. And if you'll follow me around here, this is the studio weather center. Is the weather desk here. And I can also look inside the desk. We have a little glass plate here, and this allows me to see what graphics are currently up on the air and see the 7-day forecast right there. And then back here on the other side, we have the weather computers that you saw in the weather office. They're all linked together, so it's easy to control those. And this is where it all takes place here. You see that big green wall? This is where I stand up and do the weather. And some of you are probably thinking, well, I don't see any maps up here. Well, we actually don't have any maps. The way it works is the camera, everything that it sees that's green, it puts the weather map over that. So this is what I see when I'm looking into the camera. I can actually tell which map or graphic that I have. And when I look off to the sides, I'm also looking at another monitor so that I can decide what I'm pointing at. So if I'm going through the forecast for today, I'll look at the monitor here and say we can expect 73 degrees, a 70% chance of rain, mostly in the morning, and then I go through the rest of the week looking at these monitors, and when it's time to sign off, I step off the screen. I'll either go back to the desk or toss the segment over to the break, commercial break, of course. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your little tour of WCBI, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the presentation.